good thing about IFD concept, it's very easy to explain. It's a self-explanatory concept. You ask yourself the question, how? So it's an innovative approach. It's an innovative way. What? We are talking about new sources of revenue, financing. For which purpose? What's the goal? To finance development, sustainable development. As you all know, many factors contribute to sustainable development. Of course, political will, it's an important ingredient. Good governance, investment in human capital, literacy, education, etc. Natural resources whenever it's available for countries. But one of the key elements that can be a driver for development is ICT, investment in ICT in general, which can support digital transformation, which can facilitate the way government provides services to their citizens, which can allow the development to move on a faster way. But whenever I have the honor and I have the opportunity to meet with decision makers such as head of states, Ministry of Telecommunications, or regulatory bodies, and I explain how we can, as a company, provide solutions in the field of ICT for good governance, solutions that can help them to put the right framework for the development of ICT in their countries. There is a question that always comes, which I believe it's a similar question that comes whenever other experts in other areas, such as healthcare or building infrastructures. It's where do we find the funds to finance all of that? Typically, as we have seen this morning during the discussion, bilateral aid is an option, multilateral financing, improving the tax base, of course, those are great options. Are those the only options for financing? Certainly not. Are those options working? That's a different debate. Are those options under threat? Yes, of course, as we have seen during the whole discussion today. Just before exploring other possibilities, I'd like to highlight a few facts. I started this presentation maybe 2 minutes ago. During that time, more than 34 million SMS have been sent around the world. Many people are using digital technologies and they pay for it. Half of the world population today have internet access. 5.1 billion people today have access to mobile phones. More than 300 million people today use services such as Skype. Every day, more than 65 billion WhatsApp messages are exchanged. And to access to those services in developed countries, in developing countries, people, of course, have to pay. $206 is the average amount transaction that are exchanged through mobile money. I'd like to explain a little bit. Mobile money was born in Africa, called in Kenya, M-Pesa. It allows citizens in those countries to exchange value through their mobile phones, regardless of the type of the phones. And today, 67% of Kenyan economy, the GDP in terms of transaction, go through mobile money. In many developing countries, this is something that we can see. How about for all those transaction statistics that we are seeing here, for which people are paying, to put a micro-levy, penless micro-levy, in order to finance important development projects, education, ICT, as I mentioned earlier, or many other areas that require huge investment. Mobile money, again, only last year, 2018, there was more than 2.4 billion transactions on mobile money. I'd like to insist on that one, worth more than 40 billion US dollar. what I'm telling here, it's not a dream that some days I would like to see become true. This is a testimony that I'm giving you because I have seen it. It's already happening. 11 countries in the sub-Saharan Africa have imposed a micro levy on only one segment of which I have mentioned earlier, on international calls going to their countries. And for the past 7 years, since we as GVG, we provide platform to monitor the efficiency of those levies, besides other things, they have raised more than 2.5 billion US dollars that have been invested in many important sectors for their development. There are many initiatives around the world. We have heard so many already. But regardless of the stage of development of your country, IFD can be used for specific goals. Even in the United States, 16 cents are being applied on each telephone bill in order to finance internet at school. That was a few years back. And there are many other initiatives that have been proposed in order to finance development in general. So Congo, Ghana, Tanzania, those are examples of countries that have done so. Cambodia can do the same. Kosovo, many other countries, because one thing all of those countries have in common, digital transactions are happening, and it's happening right now as we speak. So let's identify specific projects that can help in our development as a country, and then we use those mechanisms to finance them. Thank you very much.